know when your bestie slept over when you're like 13, 14, 15, and at the end of the night you just talk and talk and talk like you're never going to see each other again? That is the vibe that I want this video to give. I will be seeing you again, hopefully, but that's the vibe of this video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Nicole. I'm a stay-at-home mom to 2 toddlers 20 months apart. Before being a stay-at-home mom, I was a regulatory attorney focusing on food law and policy. This is the last episode of my Winter Arc series. If you're just happening upon this video, you can go back and watch all the other videos. In particular, the first video, I went over my goals completely, and then I kind of took you through some what I eat in a day, took you through like a day in life, took you through a few workouts, things mixed in here and there. I am going to be completely honest, I'm a little bit bored of this series, so I'm kind of happy that this is the last one. I realized that I never want to come across as someone that like what's the most important thing to me is how I look or like weight loss or anything like that, because it's really just not. I'm not going to lie, I do care about what I look like, and right now weight loss is a priority for me, but at the same time, if I came across as someone that's all I cared about, that wouldn't be genuine to who I am, because they're just like a plethora, I don't know why I decided to use that word because I don't even know if that's how you say it, of things that are just way more important to me. As you can hear, my voice is a little bit nasally, so sorry about that. And there's just other things going on right now, so I just didn't feel like putting makeup on. This is going to be a video recapping how December went. It is December 4th as we are chatting. Also in this video, I'm going to go over a few goals that I have for the new year. I did stop breastfeeding. I think I mentioned it in my last video. I stopped breastfeeding now probably like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago. I breastfed my son up until he was almost 18 months old. And I think it has screwed with my period, but because I wasn't sure, I did end up taking a pregnancy test. Corey's like work friend had a birthday party, so Corey went into Giant and picked up beer as like a gift, and then also a pregnancy test. The cashier is probably like, what's going on? Actually, he probably just went to self-checkout. I took the test this morning, it was negative. I keep saying in videos that we're not 100% sure if we're done having kids. I'm getting closer and closer to that 100%, and I always told myself that once my son turned 2, we would make our final decision, because I just am not really wanting an age gap more than that. So the fact that taking pregnancy tests was scary, and I was like, I really don't want this to be positive, is kind of showing me that maybe I am definitely ready to be done having kids. Then I could say like my late 20s was my pregnancy era, my late 20s and early 30s is my breastfeeding era, and now it's back to go to me and fulfilling my kids and fulfilling my needs and my friends' needs. Anyway, I'm really just bopping around in this video. One of the goals for my winter arc, like overarching goals, was to lose more fat and then maintain muscle. Maintain strength is always a goal for me. I did end up from like my highest weight last month, I'm saying this month, but my highest weight in December to my lowest weight in December, I ended up losing a little bit over 8 pounds. That is, to me, still a sustainable amount, a little bit higher than a sustainable amount, but nothing like crazy. Like if I popped on here and said I lost like 15, 20 pounds in a month, I would be like, how do you plan on maintaining that? So I am pretty pleased with that. I think that was my highest month because I was really pushing myself, doing a fair amount of cardio, really trying to stick to my macros and upping my protein. I'm going to be so honest with you, if you're trying to lose weight and you have no idea how much protein you're eating, if you know you're not eating, I say enough, but like if you don't know how much protein you should be eating, it's hard to say enough. And like, what do you know? Like if you don't know how much protein you should be eating, how do you know what's enough? If you're not eating a lot of protein, you're trying to lose weight, you're doing it wrong. It's going to make it actually a lot easier if you keep your protein up, because one, it's going to keep you fuller, one, you're going to maintain your muscle. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, just like even if it's like this. With your arms out. From the 31st until today will be my last day, I bump my calories up to maintaining. When I'm maintaining, I don't really track all my calories. Like there are specific things I'll track. I'll track my coffee creamer or something like that, because if I don't track that, I'm poor. And those calories do add up. Like everything else, I can kind of eyeball and know what's going on. If I'm making like a protein shake, I'll measure how much protein powder I'm putting in. But other than that, when I'm maintaining, I can just kind of like do it myself. I mostly eat the same foods, just maybe when I'm dieting and tracking my food, maybe I won't have as much rice or I won't have rice at all, versus when I'm maintaining, I'm going to have either more rice. Let me backtrack. So for example, one of the meals I made this past week was a taco skillet. When I was dieting, if I were to make that meal, what I would do is I would just remove the the meat, and like cook some for myself separately, add a bunch of veggies, and then maybe make like a taco salad type thing. I'm not afraid of carbs. I want to be very clear. I'm not afraid of carbs. I eat a fair amount of carbs. Even when I'm dieting, I'm probably eating more carbs than I think most people would think you would eat while dieting. I just don't function well when my carbs are quite low. I feel very poor very quickly, so it's just not something I do. But I will save my carbs for specific things. I'm gonna eat a fair amount of carbs surrounding my workout time or more in the morning, because then I can use that energy. Or I'm gonna save carbs for a treat, because I love a treat. I'm gonna be honest, I love a treat, and I just don't want to cut them out. I don't have any like medical reason to cut them out. Like, I'm not like pre-diabetic or anything like that. I'm making a taco skillet. I would serve it to Corey and the babies with rice. I would maybe do some chips on the side. That's like what I ate this week because I was maintaining. So I just eat the same thing. Rather than when I'm dieting, I'm gonna not have the chips, I'm not gonna have the rice, I'm gonna do salad. So it's just kind of making those slight changes. And I think that's why you'll see some videos of people saying like, I don't track my calories and I'm still able to know like I'm in a deficit. Those are the kind of like little changes they're making. And I think most people that say that have tracked calories in the past or tracked macros in the past, so they know what most foods look like and they can make a guesstimate. If you have never ever tracked macros, never ever tracked your food, I would recommend it if you're in the mental space to do so. But you know what? I should have said that at the beginning of the video. If you're not in the mental space to talk about calories, to talk about weight loss, talk about any of that, click off this video. I'm not gonna say anything groundbreaking enough to risk your mental health. Like, I'm just not. If you're in the mental space, I do think I have some things that will help you. If you're wanting to lose weight, if you're wanting to make sure you're losing weight and maintaining your muscles, again, that's important. I do think I have a few things that will help you. So what I focused on this month, I did bump my cardio up a little bit, not too much actually from what I was doing. And then I was just more adamant on what I was tracking. I was making sure I was tracking sauces. I was making sure like I do half a liquid IV in my water when I'm at the gym. I started tracking that. So like it was very, very exact. I had my like 7 goals that I went through. I think I did all right. I very clearly wasn't perfect, as you can see, but I think setting out these goals and getting that close, like especially because mid-month I was sick, so that's where a lot of the gap is coming from. And then even being out of town from the 27th to the 30th, I wasn't exact, but I still was hitting a lot of those things. Like, I'm pretty proud of myself for that. Very clearly, the sleep is the main thing I have to work on. I'm still working on it. The core rehab, I did actually think helped a lot. I still have a lot of extra skin and like wrinkly skin at the bottom of my tummy. I still hold quite a lot of fat from my belly button down, but I think it definitely is working. So I'm actually trying to continue doing that mostly daily, definitely not as strict, but doing it for mostly 30 days straight got me more in the habit of like, even sometimes when I'm walking around, I'll be, oh, let me just do like a vacuum real quick. It's very good for tightening up those transverse abdominals. Transverse, they always said that in solid core. I used to do solid core for a bit and then I got annoyed with it. That's another tip that reminded me. Let's see how long this video is. Find an exercise that you like. When I was younger, my mom would try and get me to run with her. I hated it. I would actually cry sometimes, and it was just, I just never got into it. It wasn't until like midway through college, one of my best friends, he introduced me to lifting, and I was like, okay, this is it. This is the one for me. I was probably, oh wow, I almost said 16. I was definitely not 16 in college. Probably 19 or 20. And I'm now 31 and I still absolutely love lifting. Once you find the exercise that you love, and it's going to be different for most people, I would encourage you, if you don't like lifting, add in a little bit of strength training there, especially as a woman. It's really important as we get older for just like even our bone health. But if you don't like lifting, don't make yourself lift for 6 days a week. Like, first of all, you don't even have to lift 6 days a week, but don't force yourself to do exercise 6 days a week that you don't like. That doesn't make sense. For example, I still hate cardio. I really still hate cardio, but I know for my general heart health, I know when I'm trying to lose weight, it's something I have to do. Am I going to be doing only cardio for my exercise? No, because I wouldn't do it. I would just stop. So I do my lifting and I'm like, you got your fun, now go do your cardio. I do the Stairmaster. The Stairmaster is very hard. I do think I'm a little bit of a, is the word, one second. I guess maybe the word is sadist. I might be a little bit, like a tiny bit. The reason the Stairmaster works for me is that it's so difficult that at the end I'm like, look at you. Because every single minute on that thing is torture. But what does help, if you have TikTok, I scroll on TikTok the whole time. I don't feel guilty about it because it's the only way I get through it. If you want to start on the Stairmaster, start slow. I still go quite slow. I go like 4 or 5, and then every once in a while I'll bump it up to like 7 or 8 now that I'm getting more adjusted to it. But when I first started doing the Stairmaster again, because I had taken years and years off of it, I was doing level like 3 or 4, and I started off doing like 15 minutes. I went up to 20, 25, now I do 30 regularly. I've done a full hour now. and I just go slow, just do it. Oh, I did also start holding on, and then as I got better, I would like not hold on for 2 minutes, hold on for a minute, not hold on. Now I only hold on for like the first 2 minutes just to tell myself like, you're about to be in pain, and then I don't hold on the whole time, which is nice. Still can't do a split, but I am definitely closer, and then at the very least, it's just encouraged me to stretch more. Reading, I'm back on my reading grind. Even though my goal was to just read 10 pages a day, most days I was reading like 20, 30, like more than that. Protein, not the best, especially when I wasn't feeling well, but not terrible either. This was great to do before going into a little bit of a maintenance period, and then we'll hop to that, what I'm going to talk about for like the rest of the year. Helped me because it shifted my mind to be more so protein focused. So now, even while maintaining, I actually tracked one day to kind of see where I was at while maintaining. The day that I happened to track, I ended up getting 158 grams of protein, which is more than the 140 goal, just because I was being added about. Obviously I was eating more, so like it was a little bit easier to get that protein in, but that was just me like eating, and then I tracked after the end of the day, and I was like, whoa, okay, so like my mind has kind of been shifted to be like, okay, let's make sure the protein source is consistent. Let's gravitate towards the protein. You'll have your treats, because I'm not giving up the treats. We're not going overboard in the treats. That we are giving up. Going overboard in the treats is not good. But gear your mind towards protein. Now, let's quickly, because let's see how long I've been talking, just chatting your ear off. Let's move on to a bit of my goals for 2025. Some things are obviously very, very like, you can look at it and understand what my goal is, but some things aren't as self-explanatory, and I'm not gonna share everything. We had a Christmas party mid-December, and I put on a little performance for everyone to Tomorrow Too by Cardi B and Glorilla. I love that song. I do think it's a manifestation piece. Like, tomorrow can always be better, like who knows? And one of the lines, I think it's Cardi B's also best verse by far. One of the things she says is, I can put you in my business, you might wish me dead tomorrow. I fully agree with that. That is something actually I've grown up hearing, that like you don't have to tell everyone everything because you just never know what people's intentions are. I am very particular about who I share everything with because you just really never know. So I do keep a lot of things to myself and like to my very close circle. Some things I will share. For example, you see someone doing their wash day. I do want to take a little bit better care of my hair. I'm not going to devote to going overboard because it's just something that is not a priority for me yet, but I think I can do a little bit better. Another thing that I want to continue working on is the splits. I just think 31 is not old enough to not be quite flexible, so I think I should be able to do that. You'll see some pictures of like little friends groups or like a dinner party. I want to be more intentional about connecting with my friends and like hosting more. That's something I always told Corey. I remember when we were living in apartments, I was like, I can't wait until we're in a house so I can host more, because I really, really do I love hosting. I love like curating and putting things together and like making a theme and making like special little things that people are like, oh, like I noticed that, and like that makes me feel good, making other people feel good. And I think it's just like very intimate and lovely to make people food. Just have like a small group. I really like that. Most of my friends are also quite introverted and like prefer smaller groups too, so I think it's just all beneficial to all of us. I want to travel a little bit more. Corey and I are going on our first trip without the babies in less than 2 weeks now. I want to go on like friend trips. I think that'll be fun. I actually need to talk to my sister. I think it'll be fun to do like a little sister trip, because we've only done that once ever, and that was when I think I was like 21 or 22. Oh, you'll see the picture of the hammies. I want big, juicy hammies. I'm sorry, Ram Ham. I'm sorry. When I see a woman at the gym and her hams are just like hanging, I think it looks so good. I think defined big hamstrings are just very attractive. I want it, and I'm going to be working hard on it. When my calories are maintenance calories, or even like, we'll see. I will never fully go into a bulk because I just don't have that body type. I have a body type that it's, I wouldn't say easy, but probably a little bit easier than some people to put on muscle, but my body also loves to put on fat. So a bulk is just like, probably isn't a good idea for me at this age. I've done a few bulks when I was younger, like in my early mid-20s, which I feel like it was just a little bit easier to not have as much fat. Now my fat distribution is also like not as quote-unquote favorable. When I was younger, I just like really didn't hold that much fat on my stomach. Like it would just mostly go to like my legs or my arms. Since having babies, I definitely hold a little bit more fat in my stomach, and I just like, I don't want to put on any more stomach fat, point blank. The amount of muscle I have, I'm pleased enough with that it's not worth putting more fat on my stomach to gain more muscle, if that makes sense. But if you're not like me, if you're like Corey, who I'm hoping Jude and Lev get that kind of metabolism where you can eat and eat and eat, you're lucky. Because eat and eat and eat and grow whatever muscle you decide you want. A big booty, eat and grow that big booty. You want big hams like me, eat and grow your hams. If you are like me and have more of a similar, like you put on fat easily, you can also put on muscle kind of easily. Eat around maintenance, maybe a little bit more, and work hard. If you have a body type like me, and when you are not in a deficit, you better be pushing yourself in the gym. I don't kid around in the gym. I take it seriously. I remember when, like I said, my friend introduced me to lifting in college, and I'd be doing a set. I think it was actually because I could hear him saying it. I think I was doing lat pull downs, and I was like, okay, I'm done. He's like, it doesn't look like you're struggling. Do more. I repped out like 5 more. Could probably even still do more. And he's like, you said you were done, and you got 5 more reps. And then that's when it clicked to me. I was like, okay, that's how you lift. That's how people are changing their body. When you're lifting, unless like you have some other kind of programming, like that's not your goal to put on muscle, which like we listen and we don't judge. No, it's none of my business. The last few reps of the set, you should be struggling. You should be like maybe able to get like 1, 2 maximum reps. Getting my steps in. If you're trying to lose weight, I think just like walking is one of the easiest things, because it's not going to spike your hunger or your cortisol levels enough that like you're just going to end up eating whatever you burned off, and it's just very casual, very easy, not going to exhaust you. Actually, walking alone was how I lost all the weight when I just had Jude. I just walked and like the weight just melted off. It wasn't that easy after Lev. I'm living in my answered prayers. I am right now living in my answered prayers. I put that on there because I have some new prayers and I want to live in those as well. My camera even cut me off, so I think I've just been chatting way too much. Like I said, I hop back to maintenance from the 31st, and today's the 4th, and today will be my last day at maintenance. And then I'm going to go into what I call a hop in and hop out calorie deficit. I'm not going to share the calories that I'm going to be eating at because they're not crazy low. I'm just not going to share them because I can see the demographics of my channel. Most people that watch my channel from like age 25 to 34. So I think I wouldn't like trick you into doing something that's not healthy. But just in case someone young comes across this video and says, okay, I'll eat those calories too. I don't want that. Again, they're not low. If you're dieting and eating 1,200 calories, I can bet you anything you don't have to be eating that low of calories. The goal of dieting should always be, especially when you're starting a diet, eat as much as possible, do as little cardio as possible. Of course, like do some cardio for your heart health, but as little cardio as possible to lose weight. Because if you go balls to the wall from the start, you will stall, because like if you start at 1,200 calories, where else are you going to go? By the way, my toddler is about 29 pounds and he eats more than 1,200 calories a day. So if you're eating 1,200 calories a day and you're an adult, you don't need to be doing that. I promise you. And if that's the only way you lose weight is eating 1,200 calories, you need to rebuild your metabolism. Something is not right. 1,200 calories is not enough food for an adult. Maybe that should give you an idea of, this is not drastic. I feel like when people hear that, they think I'm going very low. The reason I'm calling it a dip in and dip out is that my calories are lower than what I would say is a sustainable amount of weight loss, because, say it with me, if you lose weight in an unsustainable way, the weight loss will not be sustainable. It's going to be less than 2 weeks, I think 12 or 13 days exactly, where I'm lowering my calories lower than I would do, because I know I'm only going to be in a short amount of time. I would never, ever, ever lower my calories this low for longer than 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks max. But even then, what will end up happening is my body will go in like a weird mode, and then I feel just the need to binge. And again, that's just not worth it. Losing an extra 2-3 pounds in that time is not worth damaging everything I've done in the past to like rid myself of that binging mindset. After that, I will be maintaining for at least a month, because I have been mostly dieting since like June of 2024 last year, which is so weird to say that. And I just like time to give my body an extended break. That was why I purposely did the 4 or 5 days of maintaining before going into this dip in, dip out. I never wanted to like scare my body into thinking I'm starving it again, because I have done that in the past, sadly. And that was what actually made gaining weight very, very quickly and easily, because my body was in starvation mode, and I never want to put my body there again. I love you, body. My body has brought to me the 2 most important people in my life. How could I ever hate it? How could I ever hate it? How could I ever hate it? And then after that, I'll probably go back into a deficit leading into summer. Probably around August or so, I'll go back to maintaining for about a month, and then go back into deficit winter arc style, because I liked it. I think it's fun to kind of be, it's opposite of what you would think, because most people in the winter they bulk, and then once like January comes they start slimming down for the summer. My main goal is to, again, build the hammies. I would love to build the glutes a little bit. Who doesn't want to build the glutes a little bit? I'd love more of a cap shoulder, but I think I'm a little bit giving up on that goal. And I also have a specific like weight in mind, but if I get to all those goals, plus I want my waist to be a certain size, again, that I have in mind. If I get to that waist size, I get my hammies, I get my little bit of glutes, I get my cap shoulders, and my weight is not the weight that I have in mind. I really don't care. The weight is just like a data point. If I have what I want that I think is at that certain goal, but I get everything what I want and my weight is higher, why would I just bring the weight down just for fun? That doesn't make any sense. We'll see. I think ending this video is going to upset me because of my voice. I do put my vision board, hopefully the lighting's not that bad. I do put my vision board as my background just to make sure I'm seeing it all the time. If you stayed with me through this whole series, thank you so much. Again, weight loss and what my body looks like is not the most important thing to me, and it should not be the most important thing to you. What you look like is the least interesting, least important thing about you. You have so many special qualities. You have so many people that love you for like not what you look like at all. And if like the only reason someone hangs out with you is for what you look like, you probably should stop hanging out with them. You should probably, cut them out, because that's actually weird. Not to say that what you look like shouldn't matter at all. You can invest in what you look like and also like other things about you. I will just keep talking, so I have to cut myself off. Thank you so much for watching. Hope this video is helpful and I hope you should hang out with me. Bye.